Yeah, exciting day. It's a cool day in Seahawk history. It really is. It started out outstanding with Nick. We waited on Arroyo, and then adding Jalen right there at the end was a big deal for us. So yeah, really excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, just talk about all three guys having just a consensus and a plan for them and a vision for these guys joining our team, and all three really exciting in their own right. So yeah, it's a great day.
We've asked you so many years, John, quarterback. You said at the combine, the draft, you need to speak to us.
Yes.
What was it about this year, this player, and this round that's why you picked him?
Well, I mean, we give Ryan Florence and Aaron Heinlein a ton of credit. Those guys did a ton of work on them. It's really hard on those guys to be able to see that 22 miles an hour or whatever he ran on film or on the field. But no, he's an incredible athlete. Very, very fast. I think literally it's 21.2 or something like that. His GPS speed, but hard worker, and he's like the William Campbell Award, like academic Heisman Award winner. He's had 4 different offensive coordinators. Worked his tail off. His mom's former Navy, dad's Marine. Like he came in on a visit. He had a really great visit, and he was in a spot, and he just kept coming, and he was there by himself.
Jalen said that you told him he was the number 1 QB on your board. Is that accurate?
No, I don't think he was actually. No, but he was damn close. Yeah, he's a unique, special kid, special athlete, special young man, athlete. And we're gonna develop him as a quarterback, but with that, can add something special as we go.
Michael, how's he fit with Kubiak?
Well, I think you got to look at it through the lens of the things we talked about when we first hired Clinton. One of the reasons we hired him was his ability to incorporate the whole roster and really bring out what everybody does really well. So, I mean, adding Jalen's a part of that, and like the ability to kind of employ everyone and bring the best out of all the players is really exciting. So that's how it fits. I mean, we're running Clint's offense, and Jalen's going to fit right in. And but when he's in there, we're going to be doing the stuff that he does great, just like we will when Sam's leading the charge. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Can you envision a Taysom Hill like back?
I don't think it's fair to say Taysom Hill. I mean, Taysom's such a great player, and the way they used him was more of like a tight end fullback hybrid role with sometimes taking snaps. Jalen's a quarterback through and through. He's going to be trained to play quarterback for us, and when he's in there, he's going to be playing quarterback. So, but the athleticism is going to come to life, when he's on the field, and that's how he's going to help us.
Mike, with Nick, how much did you have Kyle Hamilton in mind, and maybe?
Can you hear him
John,
okay?
how much did you have?
He sounds like Will Ferrell on the Saturday Night Live with a tone deaf, whatever.
I just keep thinking I'm thinking there's 2 boxes that we got to check with Nick. I'm just kidding.
Did either Kam Chancellor or Kyle play in your thinking as you evaluated Nick?
I think the physicality of Cam is. I mean, you have such a respect for Cam. He's just a unicorn of a player. NFL history for us. Legion of Boom. It's hard. He can't like put. He's just so unique, And Kyle's the same way. And I think what we found with Kyle is that the system allows for us to get multiple safeties on the field, and also be in the slot and with kind of like enhanced coverage responsibilities, and he can affect the game that way, kind of at the second level while training at the third level, and gives us some depth with the safety room, guys that we really love that are currently on the roster, and then to be able to affect the game early on in his career too as he starts to develop. But same story with Nick, just coming in throughout the process, getting to know us on his visit really helped out. buying into the vision that we have for him, and it's going to be really fun to work with him when he gets here next week.
John, were you surprised that Nick was still available on day 2, and was he someone that you had considered in day 1?
Yeah, that's awesome. That was another softball right up your alley. Yeah. Yeah, we had him right next to Greg, and so your question last night, right? Are there people that we were interested in? Yeah, and so yeah, great relationship with Chad Brinker in Tennessee. We're talking to a couple clubs there, and yeah, we were able to. It worked out great. We were a little nervous that things were going to fall apart there because I don't know how far he would have gone. It felt like a long way. 50 and 52 felt like it felt like a pretty far distance, right? So he wouldn't have gotten there. He wouldn't have fallen there. But yeah, I mean, this guy, this is one of the best combines I've ever seen. I mean, physically he does kind of look like Kam Chancellor. I think Cam would tell you he didn't test like that, but
To move up as far as you did.
Yes.
And what kind of does that take an extra level of conviction in the player to give up what it takes to move that far to get him?
Absolutely, but we felt like we added 2 first-round draft picks. So when you're doing that, it's like, all right, well, we're giving up a 3rd-round pick, and then you have to try to figure out what the 3rd round's going to look like once it's everything's picked apart there, and it was just evident to Mike and myself, everybody in the room, that it was well worth it.
What did you learn about him on the 30 visit that made you guys, and what did you want to learn about him on the 30 visit?
Well, again, we entered the equation late as coaches, so give us an opportunity to kind of see how he sees the game. And, Jeff Howard did a great job. Carl Scott, AD did a great job with those guys throughout the whole process, and really getting to open up, like, football-wise, about how he sees it and, how we would – our vision for him, and I think it started to mesh. We had a great conversation. Ernest Jones was in my office, and we sat down with Nick, and I gave him a bunch of grief about, South Carolina football, but that was a good time. Just trying to get him in a setting where he can be relaxed and get a great feel for the person and the football and the person meshed, and off we go.
It may not be fair to compare.
Sorry.
May not be fair to compare him to Kam Chancellor, Kyle Hamilton, but the combine numbers that you pointed out, how do you see that manifest in the way that he plays in coverage and playing downhill? He played all over the field for South Carolina.
Yeah, Mike probably gets tired of this and our defensive staff, but I mean, the way I was raised in this business was with Ron Wolf was like, why couldn't he be a corner? I mean, he'd be a shutdown. Like, he has coverage skills. He's just a unique. Again, the combine was one of the most impressive things we've seen. I mean, not for how big and explosive he is. I mean, all 4 of these guys are incredible athletes, which is awesome because that, in turn, also plays into, to your point, it transitions onto the football field and you can see it. So yeah, I mean, like Elijah really, like, some of our coaches were like, maybe he's an X receiver. I mean, this guy could, like, full route tree, like, super, like, explosive. I mean, again, great Senior Bowl.
Yep.
Man, sorry.
With Jalen, is there kind of more patience there because you say, wow, this ceiling's really high? Do you have a plan, kind of more unique to him that say, hey, we're going to give this really a lot of patience and not push him through it?
Yeah, we don't use patience a lot around here. It's, but there's always going to be an urgency in how we're developing our players and how we're training them, and Jalen's going to be right there with everybody else. But yeah, I mean, Sam's going to take by far and away over 90% of our snaps this year, and however Jalen deserves and earns the right to go out there, then we'll do that. If it's going to help the team, it's best for us to move the ball and give these defensive coordinators some headaches, which is I'm really happy it's not going to be us. So that's awesome, and yeah, I don't want to put a timetable on it, but yeah, it's not an immediate need for him to go out there and be taking a bunch of snaps for us initially.
For a quarterback, how beneficial is it to come into a room with multiple veterans who started a bunch of games, have that kind of experience?
Yeah, I mean, we have 5 guys right now, and these guys they're all outstanding people. They're all competitors, all really smart guys. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a great spot for them. It's a really cool problem to have right now.
I'm sorry, to add Jalen to that mix with like a third round pick, did you have to get a sense of his willingness to come in and sort of find his niche and a guy who's 2 years
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a unique situation, but these are conversations that that we've had throughout the process, and Jalen's been awesome throughout that process. His agent Nicole Lynn's been awesome throughout the process, and I think we got a great plan together. So, you feel the alignment and the excitement about the opportunity for kind of everybody involved. So that's where we're at right now, and we're just in a great situation where I feel like we can kind of move forward, get the best out of everybody, and let's rock and roll.
And he probably said that about the draft board because we just add an explosive weapon while he develops as a quarterback, right? I mean, which rookie quarterback's going to come in and knock it out of the park right away? Like, everybody needs that time. So,
Talk about how Elijah Arroyo fits into your tight end room and the role he would play.
Well, yeah, I think and John alluded to. I think Elijah's in a unique situation too, where this guy can run an extensive route tree, and to have to account for a tight end body on the field, and him also to be able to split out wide, do X receiver type of things, bigger body that we probably have right now on our roster, just provides a ton of value. And then he's going to throw it in there as an actual tight end in line and be able to kind of create some of those bigger personnel formations is the vision we have for him. So it's really exciting.
John, when it comes to Elijah, he missed quite a few games in
Yeah.
2022 and 2023, and then he was mentioning to us that a lot of the routes he ran were slip routes. So how does that complicate trying to look at a player when he's missed a lot of time and maybe wasn't being utilized a lot as a vertical threat, trying to project what he can do in your offense?
well, that's exactly why he, was there when we were picking at 50. I mean, otherwise, you have to, like I told you guys before, like we end up beating these guys up so much throughout the process, but you have to be real about it. And he has missed time, but if he hasn't missed time, he's probably the talent's top 15 pick. So I mean, this guy's special.
John, you started by saying this is a great day in Seahawks history. What about today makes you feel that way?
It just feels like, today with the way, adding Nick, coming back. Last night we were really, we had a lot of conversations about, how do we do this? I mean, we almost traded back up in to get Nick. Everybody was extremely passionate about it. If we would have come out of the draft without him, we would have been disappointed. Now, same thing. I mean, same thing with Elijah. I mean, everybody was talking, throughout the process, throughout all of our meetings, there's no way. How do we, are we gonna be okay with this guy? Are we gonna be able to use him? This guy's how do you add that guy? And it's all for the people, the competitors, the athletes. They just feel like they all just feel special. I can't describe it any different than to say they feel special. They feel different, and it's a great thing. Like I said last night, respecting the group of players that's here right now to add these guys in, it's gonna be outstanding.
Mike, what did you learn about Jalen, the person, when you got to spend some time around him?
Man, I think you feel the urgency and the passion for his vision he wants for his career and where he wants to go. And he's incredibly determined. I mean, this guy is a tireless worker, highly respected by his teammates, highly intelligent, and he's just really determined to become a great player and a great quarterback. And we all have a lot to learn and grow in my career and his career and as a football team, and we all see that. And but it felt like it was a great opportunity to add him to the mix and be able to do it together.
How you mentioned Clint's goal is to use everyone to the best of their ability.
Yeah.
What's the best way to use Jalen?
As a quarterback. I mean, look, quarterbacks that extend the play are incredibly difficult to defend. I mean, the worst feeling in the world is you play the first play of the play perfectly on defense, and you defend it, and you're like, all right, sweet, we did it. And then the guy still has the ball, and then you got to defend the next play, sometimes a third play, and he can kill you in the first play, he can kill you in the second play, he can kill you in the third play. And it's not a fun existence, to live consistently, So he has that ability.
Did your experience in Baltimore with Lamar at all play into how you evaluated him in terms of what you were just talking about with the difficulty in defending that type of mobility, or the ability for a quarterback to develop as a passer in the NFL?
Well, I mean, I think is the short answer. Of course, I mean, I have so much respect for that organization, obviously, and Lamar is obviously a tremendous player, and but they're on different. They're you have to respect their career trajectories as independent, So we respect that, we have that vision of it, but yeah, I mean, you see when you add people to your organization, you want to have a vision for these people. Sometimes it's bigger than they have for themselves, and then our job is to make it come to life over time when you work together on it. And that's how we see Jalen. That's how we see all these guys. Anybody that adds to our organization, anybody that's on our team, it's our job as coaches to have that vision for them. And that's what makes it so fun. When you see guys kind of do things that they didn't necessarily think they had the possibility of doing, and then now the team's coming together, and now we're rocking and rolling. I mean, that's the stuff right there, man. That's what you do it for.
And watching those guys, watching New Orleans last year, before they got so banged up on the offensive line, when they're utilizing all their guys, they're shifting people around. It was really impressive what they were doing. They're scoring like 40 points a game.
They have so many mechanisms to get guys around and change personnel groups and get the ball to guys inexpensively, where they can let the guys do the things they do well. And that's again, that's one of the reasons we hired Clint and the rest of those guys. We have so much respect for how they operate and the creativity, but also kind of sticking to the the foundation and the fundamentals too, which is like a secret, kind of like a secret sauce to it. And it's going to be a really fun journey to kind of make it come to life.
John, you've talked about upsets in the past.
Yeah.
I'm curious how the draft's fallen so far. Have there been many upsets, or are they kind of going according to what you expected?
The first round is always, we kind of like take the first round out. So through two and three, we've probably had about 4. So like now it kind of starts dissipating as we go. But yeah, it's always, we talked about for the guys last night that every time a guy leaves, it's like there's how many hours went into scouting this player, right? So, but it goes the other way too. We have guys coming from the free agent board. We have guys coming from the medical board. We have a grade that's like says the guy's a really good player, but he's just not our type of person. So they come from there too. So, like there are upsets, but then there's also like there's big wins.
It's quite a story. The Shedeur Sanders not being drafted. How did you guys react as you saw that unfold?
How do we react?
I didn't react.
Yeah, no, I think you're just kind of going through. We're not listening, we're watching. We have it on, but we're not.
Right.
We don't know what the stories that are going on.
How different was because of how the quarterbacks got scattershot all through the first 3 rounds, like last year, 6 of the first 2 picks for quarterback?
Yeah.
How did that change the dynamics of the draft for you guys, for teams that wanted to trade, or how it shaped these first 3 rounds because the quarterbacks weren't going?
I think it just got back to the normalcy of a draft. Last year was anomaly to have 6 guys go that high. Was it 12? 12 picks. Yeah.
Did it make it harder for you to draft or trade? Find trade partners?
No, not necessarily. Yeah, we could have gone back right there. More people right there. People started ripping pretty good, and like once we got into, I think we were the first trade of the day, right? And then people were definitely moving, and things really started going there. We had an opportunity to go back a little bit there, and then we just decided to stay there and take Jalen.
John, you talked about how in the past you got stuff like NFL Europe or whatever, give like the young guys the reps.
Yeah.
You mentioned you have 5 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So how does Jalen get enough reps that a young quarterback needs to develop
I can do that one.
Yeah.
You can ask our guys. We're going to get a maximum amount of reps. And, like, one thing that I think that we take a lot of pride in here is our threes get a ton of reps. It probably speaks to our, like, preseason record over time. Like, we believe in development. And in order to get good at football, you got to play football. And they're going to give us – it's a shout-out to the rest of the team out there, but they know this. If we're allotted 150 minutes, we're going to be out there for 150 minutes. And but the way you can do that is by changing the tempos, changing who's out on the field. The threes are getting a ton of reps. There's plenty of opportunities before and after practice to work stuff. There's walk-through room. There's all sorts of tools you can use to to ramp up those cheap, really good reps. And then it's just as we go, what do the players need to work on to take their game to the next level? And quarterbacks are the same, the same vision.
And he has, he has 33 career starts, so he has played a lot of football already. It just it takes a minute for every rookie, right? Like the pro systems, and he's 21-6, and he's been through like a semi-bench. I mean, this guy's he's fun. He's a really cool kid. Young man, I did it again. He's not a kid.
Just getting older.
Like, just given all the things.
He's a grown man. He had a beard.
How excited was your defensive staff when you were able to make that happen?
With Nick?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, he's been a guy that our whole staff's been really excited about the whole process. I mean, how do you watch his tape and not, just see the potential of what he could become? And to our coach's credit, they really felt strongly about it. And when you go through the process and get the alignment with the scouts, and the scouts saw it the same way, and it's our job to kind of make it come to life now, which is the fun process. Like, get in here, go to rookie football school and learn what a slot formation is, like learn what 21 it's just build it from the ground up. And if you do it the right way, I really believe that could be something pretty special.
John,
Couple more.
Jalen had 10 yards per attempt 2 years ago, and in this past season his interception rate almost doubled. But where do you view him right now from a passing standpoint? Where he's at his development, not just throwing the football, but when he's throwing anticipation, progressions, things of that nature?
Oh, I think similar to like I stated earlier, like all these, the whole group really, everybody's. It's going to take a minute, for all of them. Everybody's at different levels. He's in a unique category with this whole group of quarterbacks because of these. He's again like the explosive athlete, the speed. He's. I saw him play live at Wisconsin, and it's like, okay, well, poor, great play, poor decision, and he just scored from 60 yards or something. You know what I mean? He just takes off and he's gone. It's a natural runner with the ball. And like Mike was talking about, it puts so much pressure on defenses. And
John, last night you said that day 3 was by far the most fun. Did this year's day 2 give it a run for its money with everything that happened?
yeah, it did. I think the excitement of trading up for Nick, Elijah still being there, and Jalen still being there. I think it's pretty. I think everybody in the room was. God helps those who can't help themselves, and there's work like it's up to you, pray like it's up to God, and everything will just go the way it's supposed to.
John, you've got a late 4th, 2 5ths, 2 7s tomorrow. Do you feel good about the picks you got? Do you want to be adding, moving? How do you feel about your late 3?
Well, I think pliable is what I would say. We definitely have specific guys we'd like to add, and then how do we? We'll go back in there for a minute and talk about it, but how do we maneuver to get to those spots to make sure we acquire those guys is the plan. But I would say pliable.
Anything else? Thank you.
Okay, have a good evening, all.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.